Right, so this a mic I created not so long ago for a particular project like that. So in this video, I want to show you how I created this mic, like most especially the grills for the mic right here in using Blender. So this is how it looks in rendered view. Yeah, let me change this to GPU so you can see it better. Yeah, so this is how it looks in rendered view. So to get started, I'm just going to create a new file. And so firstly, I want to create like that rounded profile at the top. So what I'll make use of this particular cube, adding 2 levels of subdivisions, and I would apply it. So I would go back to edit mode, select this bottom part and delete the faces. So from that particular grill I create, the grill is a bit longer than this on the z-axis, so I'll just set the pivot point to the 3D cursor so I can scale on the z-axis. Just elongate this a little bit, select this, scale it on the z-axis. No, maybe set it back to medium point, scale it on the z-axis by 0, maybe move it upward a bit, and I think I will scale this along the z-axis a bit too and move it upward. Yeah, so we have something like this for the top part of the mic. Yeah, something like this is fine. So I think I want this part to be a bit more rounded, so I'll just select this, uncheck this, select this loop, right click, and under loop 2 I'll click on circle. So if you don't have can't find loop 2 there, you just have to go to your your preferences, to your add-ons, and search for the loop 2. Yeah, make sure it's enabled. So after this, the next stuff I wanted to do was to create the mesh for the grill. So for now, I would click on this to hide it, add in a mesh and a single. Okay, I'll just add in a plane, go into edit mode, M, and merge everything at center, because all I just need for this is a single vertex. So from the front view, I would move this something like this, and I think I would extrude this. I would extrude this upward. Select this, right click, subdivide. I think I'll bring this down and Ctrl Shift B to bevel this a little bit. So okay, I still want to have like a bit of cover at this top here, curvature. So yeah, basically I'm just trying to create like a curved shape, something close to like an S shape. Yeah, so something like this, and I would add in a mirror modifier and enable clipping, because I want this to clip at center. So yeah, I think with this I would further shape it a bit better. Select this to move it away. Yeah, so something like this is alright. So I'm just going to apply the mirror modifier, go into edit mode, select everything from the top view, shift D to duplicate and rotate it by 90 degrees. Also from the front view, I would rotate it by 180 degrees, so to have this kind of shape, like a cross shape. Yeah, crossing each other. So I also want this to go up a bit, so the distance after so they look like they actually loop over each other. Next, now this to add an array modifier. I would increase the count to 15. This a bit more, and I will also enable merge. Maybe increase the mesh distance a bit, yeah, to make sure that they clip at the center here. And I will duplicate this, and now duplicating to just extend it more actually. So what I want to change here is this factor. So I'll change the x factor to 0 and set the y factor to 1, so it will be going both ways, so it will create this kind of grill effect. So something else I want to do, go back to edit mode, I will select this particular mesh. So from front view, D to duplicate, move it to okay close to where this starts, and rotate it by 180. And maybe move it downward because I want it on the floor. Or maybe move it a bit lower. Yeah, something like this is alright actually. So I'll do the same thing with this particular part. So select this particular, duplicate it, move it on the y-axis. So now if it passes in the center, it will cut this stuff off. So I don't want it to pass. I just want it something like close to the center. And from the side view, rotate it by 180. Yeah, so now kind of have like this shape going both ways. Next modifier I want to add is the skin modifier. Skin. Okay, and now what would happen is okay, before adding skin, I think I want to separate all these objects, different objects. So A to select everything, P, and separate loose parts, so it will make sure everything is separated. So I would need to add in the skin modifiers one after the other. So adding skin to this, hide it, select this, adding skin to this, hide it, select this, adding skin, hide, and same thing with the last one, adding skin and hide. So I would unhide everything, okay, and also hide the cube back because I don't need the cube. Now with everything selected, I'll just press Ctrl J to join them back. Now you have something like this kind of messed up. So go back to edit mode, A to select everything, and to scale down the skin modifier, the shortcut is Ctrl A, and it will scale everything down, scale it down till you have more like a grill shape. Yeah, something like this. And I'm pretty much, I think I'm satisfied with this. Or maybe I will scale it up a bit, just something like this, so the O's will be, yeah, something like this should be alright. And now just unhide this cube and hide this. So now what I want to do, I want to create this cube to be like in a flat object. So I'll just duplicate this, move it on the x-axis. I just want to use this as a reference. It's not really necessary. So I'll turn on wireframe so I can see the wireframe of this. So select this, go back into edit mode, come to this part and create two shape keys. Okay, you need to be in object mode to create shape keys. So I'll click on this plus option to create two shape keys. So this basic is the default shape key, and this key one will be the new shape key. So in case you've never used shape keys before, you can just follow along with this, and you kind of get the understanding of it. So going to edit mode, A to select everything, S to scale, and okay, before I scale, I want to set the pivot point to 3D cursor. That's by pressing period key and clicking on 3D cursor. So S to scale on the Z axis and 0, so it will flatten out on the Z axis. But now if you remember, the distance between here and here is a bit larger than the distance between here and here, and I think the top part here is actually alright, but this is kind of scaled down a bit. So from the top view, I'll turn on proportional editing and connected only. So I will scale this, reduce the offset, and scale this quite a bit, something like this. Notice this second shape key was selected while before I entered into edit mode. So if I go back to object mode, this is how it will be, and if I move the shape key down to 1, this is what you will see. So it's like you're flattening the object out and cutting it back. So I think I still want to tweak a little bit of this, so select this and maybe scale it up, and still scale this up a bit. Yeah, so something like this. Now I can unhide this, select it, and from the top view we position it. I think I'll scale this down a bit, change the pivot point to medium point, position it something like this, and I'll just increase the array modifier, the count, so it will cover up the entire mesh. That's for the 38 for the x-axis, and also for the y-axis I'll change it to 38. Yeah, so now that's covering the mesh completely. I'll now add in another modifier, which is the deform modifier. The target object is the plane. Now also note the plane is also flat. Okay, so sorry, not the plane, actually the cube, which is this object beneath the plane. Yes. So now you note the cube here has been flattened out before I added the surface deform modifier. So after selecting the cube as this deform object, I'm just going to click and bind. It might take a while. So yeah, it's done. So now if I select this cube, come to the shape keys and reduce this to 1. Yeah, you notice this has bent like deformed alongside the cube. So yeah, this is what we are aiming for. So something else I could do, I think I would hide this first and maybe subdivide the cube. Let me unhide it. So the cube subdivided, let me see this again. Use it back to, move this to 1. And so let me try moving this to, so yeah, that's basically it. So I would hide this, and after getting this shape, next thing I did was to apply the array modifier, the both two array modifiers, also the skin modifier and the surface deform modifier. Then going to edit mode with in wireframe view, I just selected this bottom part. Okay, sorry, I need box select, or you can either use B to select and select the bottom part. So I need to be in wireframe view also. So box select the bottom part, X, and delete faces. So you'll be left with this. So yeah, this guy, that's how I created. I just duplicated this, rotate it 3D cursor, rotate it for the bottom part, and added a cylinder basically for the splitting between. Scale it down. Yeah, and then that's how you can create something like the grills for mic and possibly other objects in Blender. So thanks for watching. See you in the next video.